Hey guys! I recently got back from Jackie Droujko's 2025 Japan sketching retreat. It was super fun. I feel like I learned a lot and I got to sketch with a lot of other artists and ask Jackie like questions about art and stuff. So it was really, really cool. And I wanted to like go through my sketchbook from the trip. I didn't finish it obviously, because it was like a week-long trip, but the half of it that I did finish is really full because I was like taping in all of my tickets and receipts and some maps and stuff, and it turned out I think it'll be cool to look through. Okay, so here is the outside. There's the little like sleeve on here, and I got this sticker from the Studio Ghibli exhibit that was happening at a museum in Nagano at the time that we were down there, and I went and they gave me a couple stickers, and this is one of them, and it's so cute and it matches like the orange of the book. Super cool. And then this is like the pen that came with the sketchbook that Jackie gave us. It's just a regular 0.5 ink pen, and it is what I use to draw most of the stuff in here. A couple things are like ballpoint pen or the Papermate markers that I always use, but most of it is this pen. Okay, so this is like the first little section. There's a bunch of references taped in here from Jackie, from other artists, but Jackie put them in here. Very cool. And then this was actually just from the first day. I did not draw a lot because we were walking around a lot. We were seeing a lot of Tokyo in the first day, and it was kind of crazy, but I had a lot of fun. We went to this tea ceremony where we sat down and drank like ceremonial grade matcha, which was really cool. And this is where all of these drawings were done. This is like a Copic marker in gray, and then just this pen overlaid on top of it. And then this is a stamp from, let me find the shrine name, the Meiji Jingu Shrine in Tokyo, somewhere in Tokyo. We were kind of all over Tokyo that day, so I can't remember exactly where it was. I was going to tape in all of the flyers that I got and the maps, but they're a little bit too big to like fit everywhere in my thing, and I think that they're really cool to read through, so I didn't want to like cut them up or anything or fold them too much, but there's a super brief look at those ones from the first day. And then here is the next day at breakfast. I did a lot of still life drawings in like the start of this sketchbook just because it's what I'm most used to doing, because I took an oil painting class this last semester at school, and we were basically learning the fundamentals of oil painting, and still life stuff was how we were doing that, so we did a lot of sketches. So it's just like what I'm most used to doing when I don't know how to draw now. And then this was that same day, I think, a couple receipts. I did this like calico critters blind box that I got at like a Family Mart. I was hoping for the little giraffe because I love giraffe calico critters, but I got the little lamb. Still super cute. And then this is like a turtle that was like looking at us over this bridge at this shrine. And then this is actually a sticker from the airport. I hope that you can't see me in the reflection. But yeah, this is a sticker from the airport. There was like a Nintendo store there, and the employee gave me and my friend each one of these stickers. Super cute. And then this was like my first time on this trip trying to do life drawing. It came out very, very stiff, and I don't really like it. But, you know, it's a warm-up, so who cares? Another receipt. And here was another one that I tried like a couple minutes after that first one. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at the poses with this one, but I still don't really like it. So then I kind of gave up and just drew the shrine that we were at really, really quickly. And there were also a lot of pigeons in the area, so I drew some of them. I feel like the sketchbook was really far away, so I'm just going to hold it up like this. And then like water wrapper. And then this was my last life drawing sketch while we were at that shrine, and I really like this one. It was just this guy on his phone. I think that I got the pose good. I got it at least better than the other two, so I'm happy with it. And then we went to this like food tour. I got some pictures of the food I ate. It was really good. There was this like, I can't remember what it was called. It was this fish cake thing. It was very different from anything I've ever had before. It was super cute though, so yeah. And we also saw this dog that had one of those haircuts. I'm so bad at explaining exactly what the haircut looks like, but I'll put up a picture on screen because it was very, very silly. And all of us were like, oh my god, like, look at that dog. He's so silly. He's so silly. Because he was very, very silly. And then we went to this bagel place. I wasn't super hungry, so I didn't get any of like the fancy stuff that they had. I just got a plain bagel, but it was very good. It was like softer than American bagels are, which was weird, but it was like really good still. So, and then on the same day as the food tour stuff, Jackie held like a workshop on like drawing, and here are some of my notes from it, and here's me drawing Jackie. And then here's like a little drawing. I don't really like this one because I don't know, I just don't like the anatomy. But then we were drawing a friend of Jackie's, Stella, who was also on the trip, and I was trying to like really get poses down and make cool shapes and exaggerated drawings. So I drew her like 3 times, and each time I made the pose a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more exaggerated. And I do like this one. I love her boots in this one. I was definitely getting better. And then I was falling back into drawing the way that I usually draw, just my little digital homunculus girl. And then we all went to this park, and there were 3 of us, including me, and we broke off into our own little group, and we were just like picking people and drawing them within like a set time frame. There was this guy sitting by his bike, but you can't really tell because I'm really bad at like drawing beards, but it was this older guy that had a beard, so you know. And then I took a break to draw all the pigeons because again there were a lot of pigeons there. Very cool. They were very silly. And then the next person we drew was this lady on a bench on her phone. Yeah, and I feel like I like this drawing better because it's more within the range of like what I usually draw, which is women. So it's definitely something I'm more used to. And then this was breakfast the next morning because we had gone to Nagano from Tokyo, and this was breakfast at the hotel in Nagano. My little coffee and some orange peels and some pastries and stuff that I had on a tray. This is supposed to be like a chocolate croissant, I think, but it looks like Pim from Smiling Friends in like really low quality, so that's super silly. And this was just the tree outside the window. And then this was also the view outside the window, also drawn at breakfast. This was the point where the trip got a little less busy and a little bit more relaxing, and I was determined to fill out more of this sketchbook. So yeah, and then this was one of my friends from the trip who was also eating breakfast at the same time. And then we went to this shrine, and this was my ticket into the shrine. My little girl again, because we went and we got iced coffee shortly after. And then there was this kimono shop, and I was obsessed with drawing them because I love the way that like the fabric folds and everything. I was like, wow, very cool. Also in that same day, another person on the trip and we went and we got pizza from this like really good American pizza place. Super good. And then we also got ice cream. And then this is the day that I went to the Studio Ghibli Art Museum exhibit. We weren't allowed to take like photos inside, but I did draw Arietti, and they had these cute stamps towards the end. I think I might have the pamphlets from there actually. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so here is my other sticker that I got from the Studio Ghibli exhibit. And then I also got this like cute fortune thing. Isn't that cool? I love that, but I didn't want to like cut it up and put it in here. I might put it in my larger sketchbook though. Hold on. This is my like regular sketchbook, and I'm probably going to put a lot of my pamphlets in there because it's way bigger. So expect that in the next like full sketchbook tour from me. And then here was just my ticket into the exhibit, and then again breakfast the next morning. They've got this little apple guy in Nagano. I think his name is Arukuma, and he's so cute and I'm obsessed with him, and I got a keychain of him because he is so adorable. And this was our tour guide at breakfast, had to draw her. And then this was more people just in the like breakfast dining area that I drew. And then here's the man of the city himself. Again, you know him, you love him. He's so silly. And then we went to go see the snow monkeys, and we went to go draw them. Here's my ticket into the park, and then me drawing them. I don't really like these drawings of them, but I feel like I get better at drawing them throughout my time at the park. I was really going for like more simple stuff that was more like the vibes of the monkeys rather than like getting every detail correct necessarily. And I think that, well, spending time in the park and just hanging out and drawing the monkeys helped me kind of relax with my drawings, because one thing that I noticed was I'm very afraid to make people look silly in my drawings. So a lot of my drawings look very stiff, like the poses and stuff, just because like I don't want to leave my little comfort zone of drawing. This is my favorite drawing of the monkeys. He was like in the river, he was picking stuff up, he was around all these rocks. I was like, this is so gorgeous. But anyway, yeah, I feel like a lot of the people that I draw turn out really, really stiff, if that makes sense. And then drawing the monkeys, who are very just kind of like sitting there and relaxing, and they're very fluid, and they're just kind of hanging out, and they're silly. Drawing all of them kind of helped me not be so stiff in drawing people after this, I think. Yeah. And then we went to the like cafe a little bit further down from the park, and I got coffee and french fries, and I got an apple juice for my roommate. I'm not a big fan of apples, but apples are very big in Nagano, so I respect it. I love the apples. Love the apple theme they've got going on there. And here's a stamp from the park. And then later in that day, we went to like a couple art museums, and we walked around, and it was very slow and relaxing, which was definitely very much appreciated because we'd been walking a lot. That's something I hear from a lot of people that go to Japan, is that it's a lot of walking and a lot of standing, which is something I'm not super used to in America because you have to like drive everywhere. So it was very nice to just like sit around with the other members of the tour, and I drew the people that were sitting around. This was my roommate. I was sitting around just drawing people that I was there with, and it was really fun. And then at like the end of the art museums, they had like 5 stamps, and I was like rushing to put all of them in my sketchbook because they have so many stamps there, and I love stamping them in my sketchbook. I definitely didn't get all of them, all of the ones that we passed, but I feel like I got a good enough amount that I'm happy with them. And then I was just drawing my girl on the bus again, bus back to the hotel. And then we went to dinner at this Italian place, I think, in here. It was like right by the hotel, and it was on a 3rd floor, I think, so the view out the window was really, really cool. And so I just sat there and drew this while I was eating and after I was eating. Very cool. And then here's me sketching out some poses with digital homunculus again. I think that these little sketches definitely turned out way more fluid than this final one, so I just turned it into her, I don't know, pulling on her shoe. I think it's really cool. And on the go, because this was the day that we were leaving Nagano to go back to Tokyo. So it was like the second to last day of the trip, and we were all showing each other our sketchbooks, and so I was like drawing people from the trip again. Super fun. We went to get coffee before getting on the bullet train. And then my roommate and I love Evangelion, so we were watching some of the movies. And so I drew Rey from there. Here's Digital Homunculus again. I think I drew this while I was on the bullet train because I was just like, yeah, this is a fun pose. I think it's cute. And then we went to this arcade on the last day, or the day after the last day of the itinerary, and there were so many little cute characters on all the games, and I drew one of them. And then this was my last drawing there on the stationery at the hotel before I checked out. And then this was my drawing that I did after I got off of my 8.5-hour flight from Tokyo to San Francisco, and I was so happy to be off the plane. And I was just sitting in the airport for my layover, and I was drawing my girl again. But yeah, that was pretty much everything that I drew on this trip. I feel like I drew a little bit more than I usually would, and I drew new things because I don't really do life drawing very much at all or ever, so it was cool to do that. And overall I just had a really good time. I didn't vlog any of it because I was just kind of relaxing and drawing the whole time, so I think that was really fun. Yeah, it was a very short sketchbook tour, but I wanted to talk about it anyway, so let me know what you think. I think that Jackie said that she is interested in doing another one of these sketching retreat tours. So I don't know, go follow her on Instagram and subscribe to her newsletter and everything if you're interested in going, because this was super fun. I would highly, highly recommend it to anyone who likes to draw professionally or casually, or wants to learn something, or just wants to hang out with other artists. It was super fun, and I would definitely go again if the opportunity presented itself. So thank you for tuning into my sketchbook tour. Ooh. I guess I'll see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Bye!